Hey there, everybody. So, I'm back. It's been a few weeks. So we're going to do Kyle's Cabinets episode 33 this time. I believe we left off with Greece last time. So today we're going to be starting with Greenland. So I feel like there's a small amount in this folder, but I saw something in there. So we'll check it out and continue down the line alphabetically and see what I've got. Hope everybody's doing well. You know, I can only apologize for taking such a long hiatus there. 3 weeks is, I think, the longest I've gone ever. I know I've done that before, way back, a couple of years ago. Took a 3 weeks break. But I just had some stuff to deal with, so whatever. It's life, you know. So I'm here and ready to get back into some stamps. I hope you all have been well. It's been cold and we've had some snow and ice out here in Virginia as of late, and I believe that actually we're due for another ice storm. Anyways, Greenland, let's take a look at these stamps and see what we've got. Alright, Greenland. So I've got a couple of stock cards here. Big old stamp right here. First off, can't read it all, of course. But looks like a semi-postal. Sled dogs. And what is that? Like a fax machine or something? What the heck? What's what's the story with this? A bunch of sled dogs and a fax machine? Okay. I'm pretty sure it's a fax machine. Okay. Don't know what that's about, but let me get my tongs out here. We have one more stock card filled with some duplicates, looks like. You know, something that I've always heard, which I actually haven't researched, is that, like, Greenland and Iceland, that it's a little bit silly, the names, because I heard that Greenland is covered in ice, and Iceland is covered in nice, fertile green grass, so it's kind of a little bit odd that they're named that, but I don't know if that's true. Like I said, that's just something that I've heard. It's like, why do we do this, you know, in the world? We make things a little bit more confusing than they need to be, but I have a suspicion that there are, like in Iceland, I bet you there's a lot of ice, I'm sure. I mean, come on, they wouldn't have called it Iceland if it didn't have plenty of ice, I would assume. And probably a little bit of green as well. And over in Greenland, I bet you that it is nice and green, but they probably do have ice as well. That's my guts, but I'd have to look it all up. So I'm just guessing. So anyway, we got this, looks like a 1 denom stamp here. We got a block and a bunch of singles, and whoever this is, probably their king or ruler or something of the sort. And then it looks like we have a 5. Oh, yeah, ore. So their currency is ore here. 5. Cool, block of 4. I'm surprised I do not have very much from this place. I mean, I thought I'd have a little bit more than this. Just from all the sorting that I've done, I feel like I've come across Greenland and Iceland a little bit more. I guess Greenland here specifically. To only have 2 items. A bit surprising. Well, anyway, that was it. Okay, let's move on to the next country. Alright. Next is Grenada. Now, I've definitely got something in here. Looks like a fair bit of stuff. Big old glassine, whole bunch of different stock cards. Okie dokie. That out of here. So let's go through these stock cards first. Let's see what we have. I think I'll lower you down a little bit. Okie dokie. Grenada. Now, you know what? In the back of my mind, I don't know anything about Grenada. Obviously, I've bothered to collect some stamps from there, but if you ask me where it is, you know, anything about it, I don't really know jack. This looks like the portrait of a king, so there's probably some British influence there. That would be my guess. And that could very well be. Let me go look up Grenada real quick and learn a little bit about it. Okay, so Grenada. It says it is a Caribbean country comprising a mainland, also called Grenada, and smaller surrounding islands. Okay. Dubbed the Spice Isle, the hilly main island is home to numerous nutmeg plantations. How about that? You know, I don't think I've ever even thought of where nutmeg comes from. So, interesting. It's also the site of the capital, St. George's, whose colorful homes, Georgian buildings, and early 18th century Fort George overlook narrow, how do you say that? Karanagi Harbor? Oh boy, probably butchered that. To the south is Grand Anse Beach with resorts and bars. Huh. So, looks like some underwater statues, little waterfall. Ooh, man, it's very, very pretty. Yeah, that's the Caribbean, huh? Man, gorgeous. So I did Google as well. Did the British own Grenada? Said yes, they did own it from 1763 until 1974 when it finally gained independence. How about that? Holy crap, long time. Jeez, man, almost 200 years. So that explains, that's probably George on the stamp. And yeah, interesting to know a little about it. So kind of the main island with a bunch of surrounding islands, but the main island is called Grenada. How about that? Alright, now having some actual sense of Grenada, makes sense seeing the portrait and the tropical tree, the entire like this stamp here. I mean, I'd say that's a pretty good depiction, and I'm expecting to see some pretty animals or something, tropical wildlife, something to that effect. Here we have a nice butterfly, the lady of, what does it say, the lady or large tiger. Appropriate given the color scheme on that butterfly. And let's see what's next. Okay. Nice little stack here of these older looking stamps. Yeah, here we go with this ever classic, I would almost say overly utilized design here. So many countries under British influence or rule have this same kind of design, man. So, what is this? Grenada admitted to UN September 17, 1974. 1/2 cent. Okay, so these four actually all seem to be the same series, some kind of ship. And they all, I think they're all used. I see some tiny marks on that. These three clearly have cancellations. That as well. I guess this one's probably mint never hinged. Actually looks in decent shape. The perfs looks pretty good. Interesting. Okay. Next up, looks like just a single here. I won't even take this one out. Not sure it's necessary. 2 center. It says 1948 to 1973. OHM. OMS. On His Majesty, I forget what that stands for. Remember, OHMS was on His Majesty's service. Well, this one has OHM and OMS. So they're separated. I don't know. Interesting. Okay, moving on. Whoa! What is that? Wow. Number 2, $110. Well, that was unexpected. Let's take a look at this guy. Yeah, definitely Grenada. Wow. So off center to the top right corner. It looks used. Yeah, the perfs look pretty well demolished on the left and right side. I'm assuming there were perfs there. I can see like one scraggly little perf on the bottom right. And the left side here, it looks like they're all just completely worn off. Interesting. So this is in pretty poor condition overall. Little splotchy stains there on the back, but I've actually seen worse. Number 2, how about that? So, wow, I'm a little bit surprised that this guy's here. This is not my writing, so somebody else wrote that. You know, my guts tell me that once upon a time I bought like 20 grab bags from a guy. He took over a month to send them out, and I got pissed and I asked for a refund. And then he kind of scrambled and was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, bloody bloody, excuse." And he shipped them right out, and then he gave me a few bonus stamps to kind of ease the blow of having to wait so long for these grab bags that I ordered. I suspect this may have been one of the stamps that he gave me as an "I'm sorry," and that could very well be. Well, anyways, let me look this up in the catalog real quick, because I'm kind of curious. I mean, 110, you know, exactly what value is that describing here, like what condition, so used or not. And I also want to see, and I'm sure that there were perfs that ran all the way around the stamp, so this thing I suspect is in pretty poor condition, but let me check. Yeah, so this is definitely an old one. This is Queen Victoria in the portrait, and this is from a release from 1961, it looks like. It supposedly is unwatermarked. If this is number 2, I would have to verify all these things. Now, it's a 6-pence, and the original color was rose. Looks like they had another release, which would be number 2B, which would be Lake. Sorry. What the heck? This would be Lake Reds. Sorry about that. So, Rose or Lake Red? Well, honestly, looking at this, it looks orange to me. I mean, this looks like orange, just straight up, which is interesting. And they did say that it would be rough perf 14 to 16. So, interesting about that as well. Rough perf 14 to 16. Okay. So, I'm not even sure that I've ever seen in the catalog the perfs described like that. Rough perf? What is that? So roughly the perfs are anywhere from 14 to 16? I mean, okay. That's odd. Yeah, I really don't think I've seen that description of perfs before. Well, anyways, there's also an 1863 to 71 release that has, okay, now this is what I bet you this is not a number 2. In 63 to 71, they had another release, and it is watermarked, so that'll be one way I can check. And they have a number 5 from Grenada is 6-pence vermilion, and it says 1871 would be the actual release date for that. So there's also a few for that number 5. There's a few other releases underneath it, like looks like it says A, G, and I guess I or L. I can't really tell. But it could be dull red, a double impression, or orange red. You know, looking at this, I mean, I would really be buying into this being probably originally vermilion, maybe orange red, maybe. But man, it really just looks like orange to me. So my guts tell me after looking at this that this is more than likely not a number 2. I mean, I see nothing about this that seems rose color. But I would buy into the vermilion. And so I kind of want to check the watermark and see which the watermark should be small stars would be watermark number 5, which is what it says this would have. They didn't change anything about the perf, so I assume it would still have the rough perf 14 to 16. And, you know, as I look further down even, they have another release from 1873 to 78. They describe the perfs as clean-cut perfs about 15. And they have a 5D stamp, which is also vermilion. And then later they have another one in 1873 with a different watermark, watermark 6, which would be large stars. And that also has number 7, which is this design. It's a 6pence, it's vermilion. And then I think that's about it. So it looks like, as I look at the catalog and scrutinize this just from looking at it, there's about 3 different stamps it could be. And but I'm not buying into it being number 2. Now, if it were number 2, 110 would be the used catalog value. Okay, so anyways, I want to mess around with this a little bit for a sec. I just want to see. Actually, let me do it. We might as well just do it together. I want to check and see if there's a watermark. If I can make out a watermark on this, that should answer an awful lot. So, big star, small star, or no watermark at all. So let's see if we can find anything. Whoa, there's definitely a star on there. Wow. It's kind of right over her face, or her whole portrait here. I'm not sure you guys can even make it out. It almost looks like orange lines. I feel like it's going to be really tricky for you guys to see that. I'm not sure you're going to be able to make that out. But I'm pretty confident that I did just see, like, it seemed blatantly obvious to me as soon as I squirted the fluid on it. There was some sort of star design here. Let me get these bubbles out from underneath. This might be a little bit difficult. This I almost wonder too, instead of watermark fluid, I might have better results simply shining a light underneath this guy to illuminate the watermark. So I'm going to let that dry out, and I'm going to shine the light under it and check it like that as well. Okay, so I actually just let it dry out, and I checked it with a flashlight, had no success. I was second guessing myself, like, does this thing really have a star? Well, I'm going to say yes. I will say yes, because I just put it back in watermark fluid. And the interesting thing about this star is it's what I think to be the large star. And it's not black ink. It seems to be orange ink, it's clearly, I'll try to outline here. I don't know if you guys can really see it, but it's definitely there. I mean, there's no doubt about it, right? So, anyways, for me, to the naked eye, but it's orange. The watermark is orange, which is odd. I'm not sure why that would be, but there is no doubt to me there is when it's dry, as soon as I squirt it with lighter fluid, there is an obvious star design here. right on the portrait, right here. So I don't know how well that comes through the camera, but I can definitely see it, like, without question. Even though I was second guessing myself, I'm pretty confident now. I mean, yeah, a large star definitely appears. So when I look at the, so that would be watermark 6 would be the watermark for this. Let me see here. So that would make this a number 7 according to the catalog. So this would be from 1873. It has a $35 used catalog value. And that would mean also it's supposed to have clean cut perfs, about 15 or so. Which I'm not going to get any further into this. I could measure the perfs and verify to the best of my ability using either the bottom or the top perfs if it is in fact 15, but I'm not going to bother. I want to kind of keep cruising here, but I don't want to go off on a whole lot of a tangent with this. But from looking at the watermark, it seems actually pretty clear cut. This is in fact a large star watermark, number what did I say? Number 6. So I'm gonna get this little sheet of paper out of here because this is definitely baloney. Sometimes, you know, I second guess myself. I'm like, well, is it, what the heck? Oh, they put it on top. Ugh. That is just one sloppy little mess right there that I just created on that, but whatever. It pretty clearly says number 7. I don't really think that I should have to measure the perfs. I mean, the watermark actually really came through for me, and that was actually pretty straightforward for me. I mean, that's good enough. So, wow, interesting little stamp there. Number 7 from Grenada, out of nowhere. Pretty cool. Okay, so it looks like there's definitely some more recent issues here. Here we have that common design type again. Okay, I won't linger on those. What is this? What is with these really cool Grenada stamps? I mean, look at that. That's a really old cutout. Wow. And they actually left decent margins around the stamp. Fortunately, it's pretty bent up. It's got some creases. But Grenada registration, 2 pence. So this is a stamped envelope cutout from Grenada. And yeah, I mean, I would say that's pretty old. It's definitely, it's embossed. That's a raised design. You can feel it. And, oh man, there's part of me that wants to go look that up in the catalog too, but I'm sure I'd just go right down a rabbit hole here and just get caught way off on a tangent here for a while trying to actually identify that. So I'm going to move on, but that was actually pretty cool to see. I don't know why, I just didn't have, like, I don't know what expectations I had for these stamps from Grenada, but I wasn't expecting to see a really old one or that cutout. Those are actually pretty nice. So these are colorful, and this one's actually kind of shiny. It's got some silver foil action going on around the borders. So this is a Christmas stamp. This up here is UNICEF. This one here, 100th anniversary of the World Meteorological Organization. Okay, and then I'm pretty sure we just saw that on the last stock card as well. So, pretty cool. Okay, we got a glass scene here with a little stack of stamps. Let's see what's inside. Looks like actually quite a few. Dominica, whoops. We can put that where it's supposed to go. It doesn't belong in there. Look at more Dominica. Is this whole stack Dominica? Yeah, a bunch of Dominica stamps. Whoops. Those don't belong there. More Dominica. Okay, get out of here. This one's Grenada and the Grenadines, which I do believe actually has its own separate folder. Knowing now what Grenada is, I wonder if the Grenadines actually are the smaller islands that they were speaking of. That could be. But I don't believe that this Grenadine stamp belongs in the Grenada folder. Could be wrong. Let me check. No, it definitely has its own folder, its own little section. Even in Scott, right beneath Grenada is Grenada and the Grenadines. So that's another one that needs to be sorted correctly. So really the only 3 Grenada stamps we have are these guys. Alright. Okay. Another stock card with a few. Grenada, looks like some duplicates. And then also this guy. So, 50th anniversary of the Girl Guides in Grenada. Girl Guides? Interesting. I wonder if that's like their version of Girl Scouts. Because, it kind of comes off like that, but I don't know. I mean, they seem to be signaling with a bunch of flags down at the bottom. Kind of reminds me of a guy at an airport signaling a plane. Interesting. I'm not sure. About Girl Guides. Yet another thing I'd have to look up to see exactly what's going on, but I'm going to assume it's similar to Girl Scouts, though I could very well be wrong. So another one, we saw that earlier. This is just like the ones from earlier with the ship. That one looks like it's got a pulled corner on the top left. Okay, here's a newer issue, Grenada, 1 farthing. Okay. Here, I've actually identified this. Number 219 from 1966. Sorry for the dog barking outside, by the way, if you can hear that. Sounds like some kids are having fun. What does it say here? Carnegie St. George's? Used stamp, okay. We'll keep cruising here. So we've got this guy. Oh, this actually is sideways. 100th anniversary of the U.S. Postal Union. What does it say here? It says U.S. mail in the 19th century and Concord, 1970s. When I first saw this, I was trying to remember the name of the plane. I was like, it's the only plane that looks like that with the nose kind of pointed down. Flying over a train. This one is the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. And this is the 14th World Jamboree in Norway, 1975. Yeah, the Concorde. I was trying to remember that. It's like, what do you call that thing? Okay, so I have a big, giant glassine with an actual pretty substantial stack of glassines in here. What is this about? I mean, I don't remember any of this. So, massive amount of duplicates. Okay, let me get that out of here. Okay, it says number 138.50 at $2.10 each equals $105. Number 138.50 stamps, Grenada, somebody wrote. It looks like they're all in different, I don't know what you would call that, different states. Some are singles, some are pairs, some are blocks, but it looks like a whole bunch of the same exact stamp over and over. 6 pence. They do look mint. even though there's a curvature to them. I don't believe the curvature is going to affect the value. I could be wrong. I mean, let's say it's not absolutely perfectly post office fresh, having a slight curvature to it, but that's something that kind of naturally happens to stamps, depending on how you store them, what environment with humidity and temperature and all that. So I'm not sure that you'd really call that a flaw, and if I were to put these in a album, they would straighten right up. Put them in a stock book or something like that. They would look perfectly fine. So I'm not gonna say they're flawed, in which case I would say they're unused. I'd say they're probably mint. These ones, it looks like you can see the watermark, whatever it may be, actually coming through pretty clearly on the back. And wow, so if there's 50 of them, then yeah, I've got quite a few of them in here. This is definitely thicker. It looks like a lot of them are blocks. And it looks like from the stack that this is kind of going to be common for the stack, like a common theme of just a bunch of duplicates in blocks or pairs, and a whole bunch of them. 50 again, it says this is number 139, and at $3 a piece would make this glassine $150. So this is a what, 1 shilling stamp? I mean, yeah, besides the slight curvature, they really do look fantastic. So I'll go ahead and say they're mint. I'd have to look up all of these values to determine if he properly cataloged mint values. Probably what he's going for. But so this is Grenada, 171 to 182 mint hinged. Interesting. This looks like a whole bunch of Queen Elizabeth stamps. All from the same series, different denoms. That one actually looks like a different series, come to think of it. That's a ship. Yeah, a whole bunch of Queen Elizabeths here. You know, it's amazing how long she lived. It really hasn't even been that long since she passed. Yeah, wow. I really do think Queen Elizabeth was quite a pretty lady when she was younger. So these are cool. I like the different colors. I like the kind of textured, I don't know what you'd call that, like a textured background or something like that. It's a nice looking stamp. I just like it. What can I say? Okay. So let's slip all these back in here. Yeah, unfortunately this has been rubber banded. Big old no-no. Get that off of there. So I'm not going to pull all these out. What would be the point? You can kind of see what's going on. So this looks like number 176, a bunch of different blocks and stuff. 25 of them at 14 cents, I guess. We've got, geez, 2 glassines, so I've got a whole bunch of duplicates of these. Look at 75 of them. I'd believe it. It feels thick. You can tell that there's a fair bit of stamps in here. 177, 75 at 24 cents. I wonder what kind of marker this guy had. It almost looks like a crayon. Interesting. But yeah, a bunch of different blocks. Okay, this is thick. These have been folded over. 100 and what is it? Oh, okay, 80. So it must be number 178, and there's 80 of them at 28 cents a piece. So yeah, just a bunch of blocks. Look at 171. Man, this glassine is nasty. It feels hard even. Ugh. Yeah, that glassine is, woo. That thing is in bad shape. 172, a whole bunch of them again. It's like 75. We have a little note slipped out here. 171 to 80, catalog value $7.75 per set. Huh. Interesting. 173, same thing, a whole bunch. 175. Yep, there they are in all their glory. 179. Man, I don't understand why they rubber banded them together to keep them together, but yeah, let's see, 180. So even though this has a different design, I guess it's still part of the same series. This last one was 25 cents with the ship. Here we go again. This one says 25 of those. So that's actually an interesting stack here. I mean, gosh, that's actually so many stamps here in this one little stack, and all of it seems to really be the same series. Intriguing. Yeah, what would I do with all of these? I have no idea. As much as I hate to, I am actually going to put the rubber band on it. It's actually a very loose rubber band. I'll give it that. I don't think it's actually damaging any of the stamps. I mean, this rubber band is extremely loose. It's not tight at all. So for the sake of organization, I will keep it on there. Plus, it's been on there for who knows how many years anyways. So interesting. So that'll actually do it for everything I had from Grenada here. I enjoyed that. That was different than I expected, and that was cool to see that really old one. Too bad it wasn't actually a number 2. Like I said, I still need to kind of go through the motions and check the perfs. But there's actually nothing else to do but check the perfs, as far as I can tell. That'd be the final determining factor, but I'm already confident enough just looking at that watermark. It's a number 6. It's not the small star, it's the large star, which is number 6. You can kind of tell by just the way that the watermark design is, what watermark it is. Definitely not a small star. So anyway, that does it for Grenada. Let's move on to whatever's next. Alright, so this is the Grenada and the Grenadines. There's that other folder I was talking about, and I've actually, for some reason, just got a bunch of loose stamps here. Not a whole lot. I guess not a bunch, but some, which is interesting. I'll be able to slip this guy in this folder while I have it out. So let's just spread these out and see what I have. Much smaller selection than Grenada itself. That pretty much does it. So including this from the other folder, this is everything I've got. So that looks like some kind of conch or something like that. Britain Norman Islander. Okay. Easter 76. There's the butterfly. And this is the 14th World Jamboree stamp. Okay, well I think that I'm going to give all these a nice little home in this tiny little glassine. Since it's right here on my desk next to me, I might as well use it. And I think these will all fit in there well enough. Oh yeah. Perfect. Okay. Well, that was short and sweet. Anyways, just to satiate my curiosity, let me look up what are the Grenadines. Like I said, I suspect they're the smaller islands. Okay, so the Grenadines is a chain of small islands that lie on a line between the larger islands of St. Vincent and Grenada in the Lesser Antilles. So, that I guess I was right in a sense, but they're not just the small islands off of the Grenadines. They are a chain of islands on a line between the larger islands of St. Vincent and Grenada. Whoa. Okay, well, yeah, good luck, remembering that. For me, I highly doubt I'll be able to remember that. I guess I don't really need this big dumb glassine. I might just reuse this. It looks like I reused it before, actually. I must have bought the Celebrate the Century sheets from Mystic and then ended up reusing this. Interesting. Mammoth box. That rings some kind of bell. I think I bought like some gigantic, what they would call a mammoth box from Mystic at some point, which was like like a grab bag, but instead of a grab bag, it's evolved into a humongous grab bag that they called a mammoth box. So interesting. It brings back memories. Well, anyways, I'll get to. I have somewhere. I actually bought these big giant glassines. I actually bought a whole pack of these, and I keep them somewhere. So I'll have to figure that out, and I'll put that where it belongs. But anyways, let's go on to the next folder. Ready. Next up, Guadalupe. I only have a couple stock cards, but let's see what's in there. By the way, I'm enjoying myself a nice cup of lemon tea. I don't know about you guys, but I really love lemon and lime. I'm a huge lime/lemon lover. Ever since I was a kid, like one of my absolute favorite yogurts, for some reason, lemon yogurt, like lemon custard. Oh my gosh, I loved lemon custard growing up so much. Something, I guess I just love this tangy citrus. I'm drooling even thinking about it. Salivating, let's say. I'm not actually drooling. But, yeah, I always love me some lemon stuff. Lemon sorbet, all that stuff. Delicious. Anyways, so yeah, my lemon tea fits right in there for me perfectly. So, Guadalupe, RF, Republique Française, I'm assuming. So, there must be some French influence, which actually, if I'm not mistaken, as far as Grenada is concerned, I did read that I think that they were under French rule before the British took over. So, little side note about Grenada. But anyway, I mean, here on these stamps, when you see the RF, I mean, that's Republique Française. I couldn't imagine what else it would be. This says timber tax up at the top. Guadalupe. Interesting. Cool little stamp. Amazing. I can't believe I don't have more. This is it? See, I'm sure that I do have more, in albums somewhere or something like that. But just in these actual folders, this is all that I have sorted. Guadalupe Post, RF, yep. La Canmise Amul. I can't, it's kind of far from my face. Moulin? I can't read the last letter. But what do we think they're doing here? Some kind of textile, or they're harvesting something, I'm not sure. And then yeah, we just have this 75 center here. I'm guessing 115, number 115 probably. Short and sweet. Wow. That's it for Guadalupe, huh? What the heck? I really did think I would have more, but guess not. Well, that was it for Guadalupe. Alright, let's do one more. Alright, Guatemala. I've actually got some stuff in here, so let's check it out. Let's take a look at what I have. A couple of loose scragglers. Okay, let's see here. Let's start with whatever this album page is, and then we'll deal with all these other ones next. Okay, so Air Post. Somebody cut this out of an album page. I'm sure it was one of those big albums. I can kind of tell by this binder puncture here that this would have probably been a large album. Air Post unwatermarked. So these are all hinged in here. Looks like we've got I was going to say, what do you call that, an Indian? I guess. Tribesman? Something like that. Actually, really cool design. He's got his foot up against a rock, probably for stability. And he's firing his bow and arrow. It's pretty cool. 1954, and these are airmail. I'm trying to. Oh, it does say. I was trying to look on there to see if anything that indicates airmail. It says Correo Arrow. So that's cool. A little section of airmails. They do look to be in pretty good shape overall. Nothing on the back. Okay. Let's see here. Guatemala. 2 centavos. 2 center. UPU 1902. Really faint light cancel on the stamp. Okay, this looks like Mai's Chicken Scratch. Guatemala 1921? Boy, pretty sloppy. I'm not even sure. Maybe 21 or 71, I'm not sure. Okay, airmail again. These are pretty large stamps as well. Wow. Yeah, surprisingly big. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe that's a Guatemalan thing. So very lightly stuck together. Okay, so we got some duplicates. Yeah, a bunch of airmail. So far, it seems like everything is airmail. Very lightly stuck, which is nice. Don't have to force anything. Okay, well, so anyways, you guys can see these. Military aviation, so something like that. Ruinas de Capuchinas, Antigua, Guatemala. Huh, I've been to Antigua. They must be near each other, I'm guessing. That one actually does say 1971. Not sure what's going on here. Pedro de Bethencourt. Interesting. Okay, so let's stack these up. Get them out of the way. And we've got these. And I made kind of like a chicken noodle soup yesterday, but it wasn't really just your standard chicken noodle. I had a box of soup pasta, and I was trying to figure out what to do with it, and they call it like Ancini de Pepe pasta, which is like these little tiny balls, little pasta balls. So I basically made chicken noodle soup, but instead of noodles, it's just like little pasta balls. They kind of look like couscous, but with noodles. I can't get it out of my mind. It was so delicious. I can't wait to eat it again. Oh my god. It's so good. Anyways. 1972 cancel here. I'm not sure if that 1968 is actually part of the original design or if that's just an overprint. I have a feeling it's probably part of the original design. Like, let's say this is an Olympic stamp. Maybe they had the Olympics over in Guatemala in 1968. That may be. These two are the same series. Here we've got good old Lincoln. Okay, this is airmail. Are these airmail as well? I'm not. Okay, well that is. Ooh. I am not sure that these two are actually airmail, so I don't think all of these are. Yeah, they have some. Whatever the. I'm forgetting the word. Whatever the type they chose here is hard to read all on its own. What do you call that? Not font. It's going to annoy me. I can't remember the term for that. The actual letters that they chose. Ugh, I'm going to have to look that up because that's going to bother me. I used to know what that was. I just can't remember. Okay, well, let's slip these back. And they're little glassine. Okay, see ya. So I've got these two loose ones. Man, these are so tiny. Little itty bitty airmails. A little bit of a curvature to them. It says 1937 airmail interior. Well, that one has a crease and some splotches. That one also has a little crease in the center. Tiny little airmail stamps. That's cute. Okay, we have a stack in this glass scene. It was font, the type of font. That actually crossed my mind. I just thought that was wrong for some reason. But yeah, so they had a weird type of font on the other stamp that made it hard to read. Okay, that is just butchered. I have half a mind to throw that away. Not only is there a huge chunk out of it, it's totally ripped on the right side. Oh man, huge thins on the back. I mean, this thing is just in piss poor shape. I'm going to toss that. What's the point of keeping that? Interesting. This one actually looks like it has the ink from the airmail envelope it was on embedded into the paper. It must have soaked in. So that means this must be an airmail stamp, and it does say Aero right there. Aero International, probably 1931. But these are canceled. Everything's canceled and used. Man, the same freaking paper stuff. And this also has massive thins on it. I mean, this thing is just beat up. Ugh, well, I'll keep it, but gosh. I mean, yeah, that's in poor shape. Pretty poor shape. That other one, though, with big old chunks of it, missing, that's just too much for me. That can go in the trash. Sorry to say. Okay, let's see. There's actually a few of them in here. Pull these out. See what we're looking at. Little pair. Bicentenario gosh. Why do I bother? Independencia Estados Unidos de Norte America. So, the independence of North America, 1776 to 1976. 200-year anniversary of the independence from the United States. Okay, airmail. That's airmail as well. These are also airmail. Man, awful lot of airmail. Here's airmail too. Yeah, they seem to love their airmail. Here we go. Oh, cool. Look at that temple. That's cool. Look at that thing. Looks like some kind of Mayan temple or something. I'm not sure if the Mayans were in Guatemala or if it was like the Aztecs or who was there, but something like that. Okay, airmail. 75th anniversary, Rotary International. This one actually does not seem to be airmail from what I can tell. Okay. It is nice to sit down with some stamps. It has been a few weeks, man. I miss it a little bit. It's relaxing, It's like therapeutic somehow. Libro Nacional de Guatemala. Okay, another one that I don't think is airmail. Looks like it's from 1972. It does have a nice light cancel. That is absolute bullseye cancel. The whole thing's right there. Really good cancel there. Guatemala pear. Some kind of different flowers. Okay, well, let me scooch these. And let's take a look at these last ones here from this pile. Okay, looks like a couple of duplicates. Yeah, man, I went crazy yesterday cooking. I cooked for hours and hours, man. I made everything for the whole week. I made breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the whole next week. I spent 3+ hours making this traditional bolognese sauce that turned out okay, but it wasn't quite as good as I hoped it would be. I kind of regret, like, I should have put some brown sugar in it or something. I feel like it's missing the I don't know, I just feel like it's missing some kind of sweetness that really could have set it off to be delicious, but it's still good. It's just not as good as I hoped. Anyways, totally off subject. Yeah, Guatemala airmail, 1978. More airmail. This is also airmail. Yeah, so all of this is airmail. Huh. Cool. Alright, I'm not gonna... excuse me. Sorry for yawning. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that, so let me put these back in here and then we'll move on to the next glassy. Okay. That looks like our friend Jesus. What's up, buddy? Don't look like you're having a good time. I guess I should try putting on a crown of thorns and see if I have a good time. Probably wouldn't. Okay, so here's our nice little array of different stamps. Those look like from the same series as the last stock card. Jesus Nazareno de Candelaria. Okay, more airmail. These guys. Oh, this is from the same series as well. Actually, I think these images are supposed to be sideways. Cool. Thomas Jefferson. This one's, I think all of these are used, but this one has some adhesive paper remnants stuck on it, so that's unfortunate. Definitely could look better. Could be in better shape. A lot of these cancels seem to be purple ink also. Yeah, what do we have? One little glassine. This is A534 Guatemala, $1. Centenario. So are these just a whole bunch of duplicates? Okay, well they have different color overprints. This one is like silver. You can see it shine. That one's blue. This one's red. Interesting. Bunch of different colored ink. These overprints. I don't see any numerical values, so I really do think they're just overprints. This one says 1858 to 1958, so Centenario must mean like 100 years. So that's black, and then this one has gold. A gold overprint. So all the same stamp, a whole bunch of different overprints. As far as the ink color, it's actually pretty cool. I don't know the whole story behind all that, but I find it intriguing. Interesting. Okay, so we have really old looking glassine. Guatemala, it looks like a buttload of duplicates. Okay. Just a whole bunch of them. Oh, look at that. What's with that overprint? Or I guess cancel? Point, say, cafe, come, something about coffee like that. It looks like this is actually a bunch of different languages. I mean, that's definitely English. It looks like it says coffee like that. Look at this one, actually has a similar... no coffee like that. Huh. Weird. So we just have a whole bunch of used examples of this stamp. They seem kind of stuck together a little. Not horribly though. Yeah, just variation. Wavy line cancels, slogan cancels. Man, there's actually a lot of these in here. This is a pretty good stack of this stamp. So yeah, just a bunch of duplicates. Huh. You know, I just never know what to expect in these folders. Never quite really know. Somehow I'm always surprised. Okay, well I won't spend much more time on that. Obviously it's just a huge amount of used 1 cent Guatemalan stamps here. Oopsie. That one is in such bad shape. I'll keep it, but don't like to see that. Okay, more Guatemala. These ones are a little sticky, is how it feels. Yeah. Very lightly stuck. I'm not sure I'm going to try to separate all of these. They are coming apart really easily though, I will say, but a couple of these I don't really want to push that any further. You can kind of tell, you know, the speckles here, like they've been ripped apart before. Yeah, these are the best thing would be to soak these apart. Even though they're not coming apart, they're not giving me a lot of trouble. I don't think it's right to try to force some of those. So big glob of stuck together Guatemala. Beautiful. Yay. I might even leave myself a note that they're stuck. Stuck together. You know, I've been struggling to find a good pen that will write on these glassines for some reason or another, and I found that the permanent markers, these felt tips, they write no problem, so I've been using that for a while. If it does the job, you know, it's good enough for me. Okay, I'm trying to, okay, they're a little stuck. Don't know what's up with these Guatemalan stamps being sticky. Look at these, are probably stuck together. Yep, I'm not going to force it. Nope. Darn it. Stuck together. I think that I'll put these in with the other stuck togethers. Okay, these are all coming apart fairly easily, except for this. Ooh, bad shape. And it's a little bit stuck. They're all just stuck. Darn it. Yeah, these are all in pretty bad shape. These are creased to heck, like that. Strip of 3 though. Oh, actually, I don't know. I think that they're just sticking together, yeah. So I think a pair and a single. Or 2 pairs, Jesus. Okay, 2 pairs stuck together. Alright, so those are all going to go in the stuck pile. All of this is stuck. Gosh darn it. Well, I'll just mark this glassine as well. Patience, patience. Don't force it. Trying to be patient here. Okay, there you go. Stuck together. Nice little pile of stuck together stamps. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. So airmail here. More airmail. I guess must be Christmas. That one. Looks like it says 1978 on the cancel. Short and sweet. Okay, this one has just one here. It looks like a pole jump. I guess call that a high jump. My camera battery's gonna die. Hold on. Alrighty. You know, is that called the high jump? Let me check. Yeah, the high jump. I dated for a short while a girl that did high jumping in high school. She had a surprising grip, and her upper body, like her shoulders and stuff, were surprisingly developed. I can't really say that that's a turn on for me, but I liked the girl for a while. We kind of hit it off for a little while there, like a month or two, and that was what she did in high school, was the high jump. And yeah, I do remember that. I remember, let's say we were getting intimate, and she has a heck of a grip, and I told her to loosen up, man. Like, geez, you know, you gotta loosen up a little bit. You got a strong grip, girl. So anyway, so airmail. I haven't thought about that for a long time. Okay, Guatemala. Let's see here. I'm sorry I'm yawning. I had a weird night. I was up till about 3:30 cooking for some reason. My sleep schedule's all wacky right now. Guatemala. Okay, airmail. Okay, so that's actual airmail. So both of those are airmail, but I can't tell with this. And you know what? Looking at this, I mean, this thing is in tattered condition. Man, it is practically ruined. I really don't think I'm going to keep that. Do you guys see just how bad it is? Yeah. I'm going to toss that. What's the point, you know? What's the point of keeping stuff like that? So that what? I can pass down that totally ruined piece of junk stamp to some other stamp collector? What's the point of that? I have so many stamps at this point that, you know, if they're in totally garbage condition, there's really no sense in keeping them. I mean, come on, you know. Who wants some ripped, shredded up junk, you know? Not me. Not me. So we're nearly done here. I think I only have one more stock card or glassine here to look at. And then I think I'm going to call it quits on this episode. But, oh wow. So this is a big, just a big stamp. Okay. So similar series to what we've seen already. Actually, we've seen that one already. Perhaps even this one as well, come to think of it. Boston Tea Party. Oh, so they're throwing a bunch of tea over. Airmail. This reminds me of U.S. Duck stamps, hunting stamps, or whatever they are. Looks like them. You know, I spent $500 on a sheet of duck stamps one time. Good grief! I still got it, of course. I think some of that money actually goes to wildlife conservation, though. Anyways, airmail, more airmail. This was airmail, airmail, airmail.
Okay, so this is pretty much all airmail. Yeah, all of it. Every single one of these is airmail. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what the big deal is. Why I have so much airmail from Guatemala. Where are the actual definitives and commemoratives? You know, that's what I'm wondering. Why is everything that I have here airmail? Okay, so this is the final piece. Looks like an actual sous sheet. Kind of cool. I'll pull it out just because, so we can get a look at it. I would like to switch my tongs up as well. So a nice pretty little sous sheet. Postal Union, Correos to Guatemala, 1874 to 1949. Boy, this one actually looks to be in really good shape. Man, that is so pretty. Going through used stamps so much, it is nice to see when something's actually in really good shape. It's like, ooh, man, just look at that gum glisten. Now, you guys can probably see this. This is stuff that I wonder about when let's say, when I list stamps for sale, that kind of stuff. Do you guys see right there? Little tiny dot. Little itty bitty dot right there at the tip of my tongs. So this thing seems practically immaculate otherwise. Besides that dot right there. I mean, is this thing no longer mint because of that? Is this now just unused because of whatever this little dot is? My guts tell me yes. I'm trying to be very gentle just to see if it'll just come off. Doesn't seem like it really wants to. So this is like when I list things for sale on Hipstamp. That's the kind of stuff that always gives me slight pause. I go, there's the smallest little dot right there. But, is that normal? No, I don't think so. I mean, that little dot, in my mind, makes it unused. It's no longer perfectly mint. Here we go. Stamp collecting. So freaking touchy about every freaking thing. If it's got a little dot, it's not perfectly mint. So I would call this unused at this point, which is sad because it's so close to being absolutely perfect. But that's just the reality, Objectively, I can't say it's perfect because of that incredibly minor, small flaw. But that's the hobby, So that's what I would do. I couldn't wholeheartedly say that it's mint because of that dot, which sucks. But that's life. It's okay. It's probably a 25-cent souvenir sheet anyways. But it's the stuff that I think about when I'm listing stamps. If I see even the smallest detail, I have to be honest, because all these stamp collectors out here, they really are, they're that, touchy. They're that perceptive. And so it's hard for me when I list stuff. I have to really scrutinize the stamps. And, I could spend 5 minutes on a stamp looking it over, making sure it's absolutely perfect to go ahead and list it for $1. Was it really even worth my time after it all? But whatever. So yeah, that does it for Guatemala. Actually, a fair bit of stuff in there. That was kind of cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed checking out those stamps with me. I thought it was fun. That was cool to go through, and I will say the Grenada stamp was probably the highlight of this search for me on this episode. I was wondering there for a sec. I'm like, wow, really? A number 2? Well, that'd be cool. Well, that's okay. Number 7, I think, is what I decided that stamp is. And I'm fine with that, too. Still a really old stamp and pretty cool to see. that would be an example of, I've said a few times that there are some cool stamps hidden away in these cabinets, and I don't remember which folders they are in. So for me to, so going through these folders with you guys is kind of a way for me to remember and rediscover all the stuff that I've filed away in there. And so we're still in the G's, obviously, in the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So we're only on the 7th letter in the alphabet in these cabinets still. And I'm looking at it, I have my drawer open. We're more than halfway through this bottom drawer of the first cabinet. So I'd say probably a few more episodes or so, and we'll actually have finished the first cabinet. Wow. Dare I say that there's actually more stamps in the second cabinet, because the first cabinet, the first top drawer, is United States, and I've dedicated that entire drawer to the US. And a lot of the stamps that were in there I've taken out and put into my albums. So this second cabinet, when we finally get to it, which I can't remember if it starts with the letter J or I or something like that. That one is pure stamps the whole way through. All 4 drawers are just pure stamps. So that second cabinet, like if we're at episode number 33 here, we will easily get 33 episodes out of the second cabinet, if not more. Frankly, there really is a lot of stuff. So it's just mind-boggling to me how much stuff I have. Oh my goodness. And this series is going to be so long. And as long as I keep at it, over time, it'll take, I'm sure, another year or 2 or something like that. Eventually, one day, we'll actually reach the end of this Kyle's Cabinets series. It'll put a tear to my eye, man. It'll be a sad thing, like, wow. To actually have finished this series, it's a heck of an undertaking, because there's just a lot of stuff to look at. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. As usual, I thank all of you so much. You're all a great group of people. I love talking to you guys. I wish you all the best. If you guys have any comments, criticisms, anything, you can leave it in the comments section down below. If you'd like to support my channel, consider liking or subscribing. It does help. And I wish all of you the best.